tum-tum hurts.
Your tum-tum hurts?
My tum-tum hurts.
Why does your tum-tum hurt?
Because we just got in from the cold.
How does that affect your gut?
It was cold.
Hello!
Inside is not used to cold.
We're here for our yearly...
Our annual tea time.
Tasters.
I felt bad taking your title, so if you want to retry that so you can say tea time tasters.
I don't care. It's our channel. Like we said last time, we upgraded. Last time you saw, we got, I think we showed it. The Turkish teapot. we showed it. We showed it. We got a Turkish teapot. This time, we got fancy cups. We got winter cups because it's freaking freezing outside. We got cool little winter cups. But it should show off our tea a lot better. We're going to start off really easy with a simple English breakfast.
Which is fitting for the conversation topics at hand.
Then we have different flavors. They're all things that you can find at Walmart, but they're all different. They're all unique. I've never tried any of these. So.
Oh, wow, I see. Why?
With that being said, though, we will get our first tea started here in literally maybe a minute. But, sir, why don't you start us off today with today's topic? So if you don't know, we're just going to kind of do our yearly recap of 2024.
Well, 24. Oh, yeah, a recap from 24. Yes. Well, not much happened in the past year, aside from, us working on YouTubes and some slight personal home developments. But the biggest thing is I went to England. And I can't help but wonder if you chose the English breakfast teas for that reason. It just feels like it did. It feels very intentional. Don't smile at me like that.
So yeah, he went to England without me.
Well, you just get better.
We do have some vacations possibly planned though, some trips planned together, which is if we can pull those off, those are gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And I know my up and coming year, I have a ton of travel.
You got a lot of stuff for championships and
which we'll get to that. But I want to hear about your Europe trip. I have not gotten to hear any of it outside of some things didn't go as planned. But I have not gotten to hear any of it, so I want to hear.
It did not go as planned. Is the thing. It's okay. So it started off with the fact that before I even left, we didn't actually have a date buckled down, which was an issue. So we bought it for I got a plane ticket last.
Just behind the scenes. Don't worry, you're not seeing any of this, but or are you? Are you spying on us?
Maybe.
NSA?
Nice attempt at obscurity, Homeland Security. Nice try, FBI.
We're on to you.
What am I doing? I should be putting this in.
Yeah, these are very frosty, aren't they? They're very frosty.
Frostant, because they're not cold. They're.
Look at that change color. That's the color English breakfast tea is supposed to be, right?
I'll be honest, I didn't have any tea while I was over in England. I feel like that's a wasted opportunity on my part, but no tea was had while I was in England, aside from bottled tea.
It fizzled. That's interesting.
Carbonated tea.
Carbonated tea. Anyway, we have our tea now. This is just an English breakfast. We're gonna get to the weird ones later, so stick around.
The weird ones.
But England, Europe, fun stuff.
So, I bought my plane ticket, I think, literally 2.5 weeks before I was supposed to actually leave for it.
Yeah, sure.
I'll try this before we add sugar. I actually don't know what proper English you tastes like without the sugar. But literally last minute, they're like, okay, we're doing it. And then the 2 weeks next to it, we were like, okay, we have to buckle down and get stuff planned. We did not get stuff planned. So the day finally came, and I left the airport alone. I did not travel with anybody, and that was scary.
Yeah, because this is the first time out of country for you, right?
Okay, so outside of this continent.
This is the first out of continent.
We did go, obviously we've gone on cruises together before. I've gone up to Canada with my family. I've gone down to, I haven't gone to Mexico, but I've gone down to I guess kind of that area. Bahamas, Caribbean area for the cruises. But outside of this general hemisphere of the world,
Yeah, and you're not a big fan of flying either.
Well, I'm not. The thought of flying is not appealing to me. And it proved my point to say that it's because you were up in the sky for hours on end, elbow to elbow with people crammed in like sardines, And quite frankly, I'm not saying I'm claustrophobic whatsoever. I am saying that I like to have a nice personal bubble. So being this close in the center seat, both there and back on every flight.
It's more annoying when you don't have somebody that you know there too.
I don't even know if that would have done anything because okay. Except for my neighbors being a little too talkative on the way to England, where I couldn't just pop my earbuds in. They kept trying to talk to me. That was annoying. And the man was a night owl too, so like he did not sleep on the 7-hour flight there.
Mm-hmm.
That was an overnight flight. The man just watched a movie, paused it, talked to me for like 20 minutes, resumed the movie, and then went right back at it 15 minutes later. And I'm like, stop talking. But no. Yeah, it was the first time technically out of American closeness. Like, because we've gone across to the Niagara Falls before, but...
That doesn't really count.
You know,
Canada is basically America.
Especially Niagara Falls, like that is Americanized Canada.
Yeah.
But left from here, went to Boston, sat in Boston for I think it was a 5-hour layover.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for a while. Left, got into England, and let me tell you, first things first. Have you gone out of the country before, like outside of cruises?
Not. Well, I mean, I have, but not through like flights. I've never been to like Europe or anything.
Because let me tell you how...
I want to go to Europe, though.
Europe?
Really
okay.
bad.
Listen, if you go, don't pull on me. Make sure everything's planned, obviously. Like, you know, a sane person.
You know how I
yeah. Just my thing is, I'm very loosey-goosey, kind of go with the flow. I rely on other people to have plans. I'll go do whatever. I'll do whatever sounds fun. But whenever I go with a group who is the exact same way, there's an issue. So...
You'd have at least one planner in the group.
And we did, kind of. But the way that we went, it was kind of stagnated. I was there for 2 weeks. My friend
Hubert
was there for 2 weeks. We were visiting our friend
Steve,
who was in the military. He's stationed over there, hence the trip. He went for 1 week. I came the start of his
Hubert,
second week there. We both had a week shared, and then
Hubert,
he left at the end of that week, and then
Steve,
I had our week. So
Steve,
we still had 3 weeks off with friends. Cool for him, cool for me, cool for all of us. But the way that we had it stagnated, where
Hubert,
it was the planner, and then he left. Literally the week after he left,
Steve,
with each other, we're like, we're not running around this country so much. We're just gonna like relax with each other. So we did. But that's getting ahead of myself. I landed in England. Let me tell you the difference between our customs and TSA and theirs. I leave from Boston, get into England, not a problem. Literally, it's get off the plane, go through the tunnel, scan your passport, you're in the country. And I'll get to that in a second when I come back into my own friggin' country, because that made me upset. But met up with my friend.
Steve.
It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was past that. I was tired. The sleep on the plane was not okay at all. Went straight into England. No, straight into London. Sorry. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea because I'm getting stuffy. That is bland. Much like England's food. Which, funnily enough, is not a bad stereotype. It is true. Okay, it kind of is, because I'll get to that.
They don't use that.
What's a healthy amount of sugar for this?
1 cube or 2 cubes?
How many cubes is that?
About 2.5. Maybe 3. Oh boy. Alright, continue going.
Anyway, so yeah, we went right into London.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like it was, got picked up. I'm like massively sleep deprived. So to hop in a car with the driver's side on the right side of the vehicle, in an American car, he was driving a Honda CR-V. So for me to hop into a car that I am not unfamiliar with in this country, but to see it wrong, and then to hop on the wrong side of the road, I was discombobulated, and the sleep deprivation did not help. We park in this little town. I completely forget what the town we parked in was, but it was about an hour drive from the airport to this place. We hopped on the underground, and we rode in. Stark difference to the New York subway, let me tell you. Like the New York Metro and the English, completely different. People are so polite in England, let me tell you. They keep it to themselves. They're quiet, but like, you know, you say sorry, they kind of acknowledge your existence, and they walk. I'm fine with that. Ignore me. If I apologize, just let me be. New York City, I swear I was about to get spit on by some homeless dude in the subway who was just befriending a rat in the corner.
I will say going through New York's not the greatest.
I want to go back because it was an experience.
Nor is DC. I don't know if you've ever been through the
I've been
metro system in DC.
I don't know if I
It was weird. Now I was going through. It's a little bit off topic. I was going through with my father, who at the time was in a scooter. And first off, not every station has an elevator or a way to get up. So
That's a lawsuit. I feel like that should be.
So we were told. We asked people, and they were like, "Oh, well, you got to go to this station to actually get off, and then come over." And it was just like, it's DC. They get away with whatever they want. But then there were certain stations that were dead. Like no one was there. It was really weird. But then there was other stations that you couldn't move, and it was so weird to go through. But
well, that's almost okay. So yeah, when being in New York City, obviously the metro system being downtown, like we were off of Times Square whenever I went. I know this is getting off topic from England. I'm looping back around to it, I promise. But every Grand Central Station, it was a cool sight. Hated the fact that I was again packed like sardines. Like I have my own little personal bubble. I have no problem whenever it's burst. I have an issue whenever there's someone consistently in there and it's just constantly like rotating with new people. New York City wasn't horrible. In England, whenever I went, we were able to get there early enough. The only time I had an issue with being or feeling like clustered and small, I don't know, was we got off after about 20 minutes of riding into London, where we got off into, I forget, I really wish I took a picture of what station it was. But as soon as we got to the station, firstly, it was really cool. So they'd be like, whoa, this might have been where Harry Potter was filmed. It wasn't, for the record. I've never haven't watched Harry Potter in a long, long time. So it kind of looked like it could have been. But, you know, it was cool because there's people. Then as soon as you get up onto that street, it was relatively busy. Now, I'm used to our local town, our local city, and it was kind of that way. I'm like, okay, city, whatever.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh's not very...
but we were yeah, it's kind of a small.
It's a smaller city.
It is a smaller city, and thus for
you go down to the marketplace though when it's busy, or the strip whenever like the Steelers at the Super Bowl, it gets that way.
No, it wasn't. I don't think I've ever been around those areas in peak time. Come to think of it, I've been downtown Pittsburgh during light up night.
That's also cool.
Both as a spectator of Light Up Night and skating, obviously for your birthday one year, but I was also there to perform one year for the lighting of the tree. But that was pretty cool. But besides the point, it just kept getting busier though. England, like I think we got there around like 9 o'clock in the morning. Shops were just starting to open up, so like it was city busy, but it wasn't downtown landmarks busy. We almost made a beeline from this metro down to, what was the first thing we saw? We saw a lot of the buildings down there obviously have names. So we saw the Gherkin, which is the giant weird egg, spirally egg. I don't know if you're familiar with the city with the skyline of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I like to call it the egg.
The egg.
But it's called the Gherkin, which is subjectively funnier because it doesn't look like a pickle at all, but whatever. We go past the Gherkin. Firstly, I have a lot of pictures to show you. In fact, I'll see if I can bring some up now. And then I'll send them to you so that you can pull them up onto the screen as we're talking about it. Because this was the contrast between old and new over there. Like, it's not like you walk downtown Pittsburgh or...
Is it kind of like walking through DC? Where you...
A little bit, where you almost see a little bit of, like, history transition, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, because, like, in DC, there are buildings... I actually just had a picture of this, speaking of pictures, of older buildings that they're not allowed to touch. So civilization just built around them.
So, like, for example, this was in the middle of the... You can turn the brightness up if you want.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like, old Victorian, proper Victorian architecture, but that wasn't even the worst of it.
I was going to say, you can get a little bit of that in Pittsburgh.
Just a little bit, but, like,
yeah, not a lot, but, like, the old jail and stuff looks that way.
Let me see, where... Firstly, that was pretty cool. I like this
Oh,
building.
I
don't know what. I think it's an apartment building. I'm 90% certain as we passed it, it was an apartment building. It looked very steampunky though. But one thing I didn't realize was if you look at that wall, and I'll pull up the actual picture that I took, the wall's the bricks. Just see the bricks. It's something that you don't really pick up on until I pull up. Oh no, where'd my picture go? Don't tell me I deleted it. It didn't get deleted somehow. Don't tell me that. Don't you lie to me. There it is. There's the gherkin. But that church, as we pass it was a 1700s church.
Yeah.
So to see a 1700s church in front of something that was built, I think it was like, what, 23rd? I'm fact-checking me here. You can pull up, I don't know if there's a site you can pull up buildings, but it was really weird to see literally Old Town with modernization plopped right on top of it. Going to their, we didn't go to Piccadilly, but like even just seeing pictures of what Piccadilly looks like, you have all these really old buildings with billboards and electronic signs. They didn't have the opportunity to just tear down and rebuild back up new, like New York City. They just kind of said, let's throw it where we can fit it. But, besides the point, sorry.
No. This is part of your trip.
But we had gone from the square right to the Tower of London, which, again, I'm just going to keep pulling up some pictures as I go here, because there's a definitive line of where you can almost see where it traveled from.
Okay.
So we went to the Tower of London, which, coming up on it, that was the site that we had. So just to see the spires from, like, the apartment buildings was kind of cool. To see a random castle pull up, and then, off in the distance, I didn't realize I captured at the time, was the London Bridge off in the distance. The phone booth obviously made me really happy. I'm really sad I couldn't find the actual TARDIS that was actually laying down. But as we got down to the Thames...
Oh, yeah, that's real pretty.
Just the constant... Firstly, the Sky Pyramid, which apparently is called the Shard. Didn't know it.
The Shard.
The Shard.
The Shard.
It's the Sky Shard. I didn't realize also, right in front of me, for some reason the camera worked in front of the Shard picture. There's a battleship. So...
Oh, yeah, no, and that's a lot clearer of a picture of it, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I liked about, like, in the morning. Obviously, England being England, everything was gluey. That was, like, one of only 4 times I actually saw sunlight.
So it is like Pittsburgh.
Somehow worse.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
24/7 rain.
But I thought, like, there's a lot of cool pictures that I got of, like, just, like, I think at that point, the shock of being in another country really hit in. So I was sitting there, like, click, 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 click. Oh, my God, an English stone. Literally, as soon as we got there, like the day before, the whole country basically switched over to their winter hours for their like landmarks and stuff. So they were open later, closed earlier, which is why whenever, and I'm gonna give a little spoiler here obviously, but whenever we went to Stonehenge, they were closed the first day. We got there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Given by that time the sun's already going down because it's England and they don't like sunlight, so the sun just kind of repels them too. They were closed and it really, it just... Who closes a pile of rocks in the middle of the field? You tell me. So we kept walking. We kind of made a loop around the Tower of London, London Bridge, and they have a lot of like just cute architecture. Like this was just a random apartment building with a nice little skyrise cover.
Oh yeah, that is nice. Yeah.
Stuff that like I don't know, like they just had like it was a nice little gathering spot. Stuff that you don't really necessarily see in Pittsburgh. They don't really have places just to sit down, relax with, like, a sandwich you get on a street corner.
No, that's not a very American thought process.
No.
Though. I mean, there are places like that. Like the probably something like that.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit out of the way, right? It's not like you're gonna go buy a sandwich and then go sit down.
No.
Those are a little bit rarer.
Rarer. There was this really cute underground. I say underground. It wasn't actually underground, but like. Where above us was like running like train tracks overhead. It was cool. Like a market though. There was
a market like in a metro station type of. That's cool.
It was real cool. I know in England it doesn't make sense, but there was a block worth. Blocks don't really exist because England traffic sucks. But there was like a block's worth of like just markets here. They had like fresh squeezed juices. They had whole cheese wheel. Never thought I'd see a cheese wheel in my life for real, but I did.
You've been to Delilah's?
It's been a long time, and I don't think I was in the cheese section. I think the last time I went to Delilah's was like, I was, 8?
That we need to go to, too. Fun fact, they're the #1 olive importers in the country.
That one tiny shop?
Yeah, no, dead serious. They are the #1 olive importers in the country.
But they had a killer. What? Did I miss that somehow? Please don't tell me I missed that somehow. I missed the globe? I'm so sad. We could have just kept going. Anyway, I'm sorry. Getting sidetracked.
So you said things didn't go quite as planned, though, with all this.
Well, it was only because we were definitely kind of flying by the seat of our pants with everything. Like, we did it, like, we wanted to hit London, and we did hit London. We hit a lot of places in London. Like there's Waterloo Station. We made a stop in too. Got Krispy Kreme. For the record, Krispy Kreme is A, expensive, and B, my teeth hurt. Understand that I put sugar in every single thing I consume, an excess amount. But whenever I bit into Krispy Kreme, I wanted to die.
Which donut did you eat?
Glazed.
I say that's the best donut. That's the best glazed donut.
Well, I also got there's this like jelly filled. The jelly was the best part about it.
I don't like the jelly filled donuts
I
at
love jelly
Krispy
filled.
Kreme.
It was, but that was a bad station. Like talk about again crammed like sardines. But eventually we did make our way over to. I didn't get a ground picture of the London Eye. I did go into the London Eye. I did take a picture of it for some reason, but I did. We went on the London Eye. And it is the probably most expensive thing I think I could have.
Oh, I'm sure that's been so hyped up.
It is a $50 ticket per person.
That makes sense.
But the pictures, firstly, by the way, the Thames, there's Uber boats.
Yeah.
From Uber to traverse the Thames.
Yeah.
Just a concept that I thought was pretty cool. As we go on, got the aerial picture of Big Ben.
Oh, there you go.
Naturally.
Yeah, of course.
You had to get a few good pictures of Big Ben, but unfortunately, with England being nothing but cloudy, the higher you got, the more cloud coverage. So the higher you got, I think at peak, like it's not a great picture.
Because it's still a pretty nice picture though, because it's very aesthetic. It puts a fog over London. So no,
there's always a fog over London.
I know, but again, it keeps
that's probably
that
a better
aesthetic.
one, I think.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
I don't know how I feel about the text, but that was cool. Right next to it was, what was the building next to it? I forget what it was exactly. It was the county hall? Whatever it was at one point where the London Dungeon.
Okay.
Sounds about, yeah. It's where I'm pretty certain they were talking that whenever Parliament wasn't meeting in Parliament, Big Ben, that's where they were meeting.
Okay.
Was that where the royalty stayed? I forget.
Did you take like a?
They had a small tour guide announcing over the. I think they had a small tour guide announcing over the loudspeaker.
Okay.
But
Did you take like a bus tour or something? Or?
No, that's another thing. Is like I'm kind of sad we didn't, but I'm also happy we didn't because we got to actually properly experience it. Like this is actually a really nice. Kind of want to set that as my computer background just because of how crystal clear it kind of is.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
But we got a lot of pictures. Tried some of the food. The fish over there sucks. The fish and chips, they don't have salt. They don't have tartar sauce. They don't have ketchup. They just give you oiled fish on bread. We had to go find the salt. We did get a picture of Big Ben chiming, though.
I was going to say, if you want good fish and chips, and I know this is going to sound bad, but you don't go to Europe for good fish and chips. You go to, like, New London or up into Maine. Like, that's where you get good fish and chips.
Nice up close. We crossed the bridge.
Yeah, there you
Where?
go. New London, up in Maine and up above New York. That's where you can get really good fish and chips.
See, I went up there and I had their crab rolls. I had a crab roll. The last cruise we went on. Okay. We went on the New England. That was the best cruise I think I've ever been on because it was not hot. I was able to dress the way I wanted to and not suffer. I got some weird looks in Boston, but Bostonites are kind of rude, so it's okay. Here, let me see if I can get the chimes of London real fast. It's like, it's underwhelming. Like I'm sitting there, I don't know. I was expecting a massive clock to make a massive noise, but screw me for thinking. We have some other miscellaneous stuff. Like I got a picture of Scotland Yard because my inner Sherlock Holmes was like.
I'm gonna say if you wanted big bells, I've heard the bells of Notre Dame are. But I mean, it like just recently opened back up.
Oh yeah,
but,
I did see that. That's right.
Yeah, but that's what I've heard anyway. Is like those are the bells to hear.
At some point, we were talking about going back out to Europe, probably either next year or two. We originally the plans for this trip was that we were going to go hit England. We were going to go up and try and hit Scotland and Ireland, maybe some Wales. We wanted to go see some castles, but we wanted to get first out of the way, London. They had just got done camping, apparently, like just a few hours before they picked me up. Whoever packs up a bag and says, I'm just going to go camping in the middle of the wilderness in a country I've never even been a part of.
Steve.
Wasn't why I came with that idea. But this is a man who willingly jumps out of perfectly good planes, so I'm not going to say all too much. There's a random Egyptian hieroglyphic obelisk in the middle of London. Made me feel things.
We have one randomly in Washington, D.C. too. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but we're American. I kind of figured that was par for the course.
we just they steal cultures just as much as we do. So
I feel like the get kind of worse at it, come to think of it. We just wage war in them.
I say, yeah, we're worse than they are.
Yeah.
They're great at stealing architecture. They have an entire museum dedicated to stealing culture.
Womp womp.
I have no say either way in that. I just know that's a funny joke that people tend to say.
But yes, we woke up. We ended up. We spent the day there. We ended up riding a bike, which, interestingly enough, they charge. Was it distance? I think they charge by the distance.
By distance, okay.
You just pedal on the bike. You can rent a bike. Lots of roundabouts, for the record, and the roundabouts that we witnessed in downtown London made me dread every single roundabout in existence. Thankfully, here in America, ours are more tame. I will never more complain about our roundabouts, because those roundabouts out there are way too sporadic. They're too frequent.
I've seen some pictures of the roundabouts and stuff, and they're not that fun.
It's not okay, especially if you go down to there's this one, if I can find it real fast. There's this one stupid intersection where there's a massive roundabout. Sorry, bleep that out. Say, I don't know, flooping or something. In the middle of this roundabout, they hollowed it out and made an IMAX theater.
That's really cool.
I mean, interesting, yeah, but you had to get down, you had to go down a pair of steps and then access underneath the roundabout, a few access tunnels to the bottom of this roundabout, just to get into the theater.
That's still cool, come on.
Except in every tunnel was a homeless person that we had to pass over, who were sleeping in the tunnel. You know how badly I don't want to be too rude to the homeless, but they stink. And I mean, we got out of the roundabout into the open air, and it was still wafting. Respect. Especially for England, where it's constantly cold and wet. So you go to the lowest point in a tunnel to sleep? Think not. Went back to base, where my friend
Hubert
obviously was stationed. And we made plans that the next day we were going to go right out to this place called Ely. Little town. Really cute. Where are these photos? Oh, found Ratatouille in a can, for the record, so it does exist for them.
Okay.
Completely. They had mini deer. That was interesting. Don't know. I looked out the window and saw a weird, squished midget deer, and I was like, what? I mildly did freak out about the fact of there's a mini deer out the left. He goes, oh yeah, those are normal here. I'm like, okay. Their McDonald's over there was healthier. It was weird. They had something called the McPlant. Don't know how I felt about that. But I literally, for once, ate McDonald's and felt healthy.
You still probably shouldn't feel healthy, no matter how much they clean up their acts.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
but there was this one really, really nice cathedral out there that we got to go see.
Oh, okay.
And let me see if it'll take a shot at the front. Now this one was that was the original bell tower. That was the addition, because if you actually look, it sags a little bit to it almost looks like it's sagging inward. Now, I think it actually did collapse at one point. Now that's the front. You can see that there's supposed to be a second spire over here that you can see got damaged. If I just zoom right.
Yeah, I can see where. Yeah.
It's funny because if you actually look at it, there's better pictures. You can actually see the tilt of the top of that one too. But we went inside.
Gorgeous.
Oh my God, yes. I think they had, I forget what each of these were, but I think it was stages of Jesus' life on the murals on the back, on the ceiling. You went through, that was up the main steeple that you looked up, and it just
goes.
Wait a second, I think I got a better one that you can zoom in. The actual could you imagine working on that?
Yeah,
I'd be horrified.
That would be awesome, dude. Come on.
The most Hogwarts vibe ever.
Well, yeah, because Hogwarts is based off of it. This type of architecture. I mean,
that's the center. But the reason why I couldn't go to the center and get a shot of that was because there's a video here somewhere. I might have to go to my Snapchat for it. That's the access, because the women aren't good enough. They had their own area, so that was their time. Found a doorway that my friend
Steve
comes up to about here on me. That doorway is shorter than him.
Yeah.
Because that's where the children went to go sing their choir things. And the stairs are shorter.
Yeah.
So to have midgets doorways. Also, historical stained glass pictures of
Planes?
depictions of World War II.
Oh.
Because I think at the time, I think they said that cathedral was used as like like a hospital at the time. So
in honor and memory of the service of the served the LE district during it keeps going, but
Ely. It's a cute little town.
Yeah.
Me and CJ went on and kept calling it Ellie because it made me mad because it's pronounced.
Well, it sounds like you had a pretty good time.
It was cool. It was fun. It was great. I want to find a video so very badly though because we walked in on
Funeral.
No.
Oh, wedding.
No.
Oh,
See if I can find my camera roll.
Mass.
They were preparing for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
So, where's my stories? We walked in to a church choir practicing in the middle of these halls.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be a cool experience.
You just loaded.
I know boss music when I hear it.
Well, I gotta.
Especially in that cathedral.
It was the most like ethereal feeling ever to like literally open the doors and just hear like a high note of like.
Oh no, that would be a really cool experience.
Not something
awesome.
they usually do always. Like they have tours and stuff like this, but this is still a church that holds a mass. So like they were practicing for that evening's mass, but they still allowed us to come in and like check it out and stuff. It was the most like again like the most ethereal, most kind of I don't know, it feels otherworldly to hear like you're zoning out, looking at all these like artworks that have probably been up there for hundreds of years and like wow. If anything else ever felt more fantasy-like in my life, it would still not compare to the feelings I felt that day. Anyway, skip ahead to the next few days. I think we skipped one day, stayed at home, just kind of hung out as friends. Went to Stonehenge. That was cool. Bunch of rocks in the middle of the field. Not a big deal. Well, technically, sorry. We went out to Stonehenge, and they were closed. Again, pile of rocks in the middle of the field. So we went to go stay at a proper English inn, which was cool. Let me tell you, their hotel services are much better than they are here. They're a lot friendlier. Literally walk into the inn, sit down. My friend Jake was there before. He said, this place is the best shepherd's pie. And I go, bet. So I got it. Second best shepherd's pie I've ever had. I say first because mine is better. But, you know.
Of course.
Of course. But then we were like, I think we're good here. How about a room? She goes, yeah, $100 a night. I'm like, perfect. So we literally just ordered a meal and then a room at the table. So we just kind of were like, yeah, flying by the seat of our pants. We're like an hour away from base. So we're like, if we don't do this, we're sleeping in the parking lot. You either give us a room or we're just leaving in the car. But we stayed a night. It was cool. It was fun. Shower was the best shower I've ever had. Checked out the pile of rocks. My friends, of course, being the physical active ones that they were, they wanted to hike from the visitor center to Stonehenge, which made me sad. Because it was a mile hike.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but whenever it's sitting there, it's like, you know, you have field and then you have up a hill to Stonehenge. And then I made them ride the bus back. But I got a really good mead from Stonehenge.
Did you?
Oh, wait, for some reason, they just sell alcohol at the visitor center. It's great.
Because it's London.
It's London.
Yeah.
You can drink at 18. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have any more interesting stories?
I mean, I don't know. We definitely kind of jumped around a bit of places. We didn't end up going up to England. We didn't end up going up to Scotland or Ireland because...
Did you hit Germany?
No, we didn't go anywhere else outside of England, which was upsetting. But
Hubert, Steve.
like, you know, in reality, there was a lot of stuff we wanted to see. Chances are, like, because all that stuff happened in the first week. We also went up and checked. I got to see real fast. Where are the places we actually hit? We went up to, where are you? Lakenheath. That's where he was stationed, of course. But then we also went up to, Sherwood Forest. Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun time because we also got a slight photo shoot of us because we decided to get green Robin Hood hats. That's
amazing.
Of course.
That's amazing.
So then we just kept going around Sherwood Forest.
I love the hats.
I know. I looked at them like, guys, we have to. There's what's the tree that he hid out in? I forget what it was, but that is the Sherwood Forest tree. Find it if you want to. Find it if you can. But we got the actual photo shoots that we have of just the stupidity of 3 teenage boys goofing off in the woods, hanging off of trees, just kind of causing general mayhem. That was fun. But we did do all of that within like the first week or so, and then after
Steve,
we left,
Hubert,
and I decided to just kind of take it easy, relax on base, spend time as friends. And that's where the plan did diverge. We wanted to go out and see everything, but gas is also very expensive over there, so we decided to chill a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. Got a sword while I was out there, which is in my car still, so I could totally go and grab it.
I would love to see a sword.
It is full combat ready. It's Hema sword.
Hema sword and combat ready are 2 different things.
Stage combat ready. Hema sword.
Stage, okay. It's a practice sword.
Yeah.
It's ready to take impact, but
That's I was
it's not
talking like
sharpened.
combat as in like stage
When
combat.
you say for swords that are combat ready, they are sharpened. That's what combat ready means.
I want to sharpen it because then it will be fully contact ready to sharp.
I was gonna say, practice swords are or Hema practice swords are that's the type of Monte I'm getting right now.
Is it okay if we can figure out? We might be able to, but we have to see what your because mine's like really rounded out on the front. So like if they find
on the edge, on the tip.
Yeah, on the edge or on the actual blade itself.
Well, yeah, that's
so you don't want to get something.
Point of,
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like what the guy was saying because the man was doing Hema for like 20 years. Just make sure that if you're making full contact with these swords, make sure that you have a sword that isn't more pointed than yours because it will groove and divot yours. I'm like, okay, so inspect every sword I go to fight with. So whenever I go to sword fight someone, firstly wear protection.
Yeah, of course.
And then wear protection so you don't get stabbed. And then make sure that your doesn't get broken.
Done Hema before.
I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that for my own notes.
I was gonna say I'm the one who does the martial arts stuff. All right. So he's grabbing the sword. I have not seen it yet, obviously.
This
That's
is
why
the
my
first
eyes are
time
closed.
for everyone.
Then we are ready for our next tea, though. So these are the fancy ones now.
Ready for this?
All right. Let me make a guess first. I'm gonna assume it's London German longsword.
Ha!
It's underneath your thing. Not dumb. Oh, you got a saber. Well, no, it's not a saber. I don't remember what these are called, but. Oh, yeah.
I forget exactly what it was
that
called as well.
That would be fine.
But
I've seen these though before.
it was an English. It's an English Civil War sword.
Yeah.
And the guy that was saying that we sat there for like an hour or two talking to this man.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, and with this guy over here, you can totally double as a pirate. So I'm like, he knows how to sell.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty nice.
Like we bought this at Sherwood Forest and immediately went to the parking lot. We're like, okay, gents, because
Hubert,
got something similar to his Zweihander, which
Yeah, I know what it's like.
and then I think
Steve
got something akin to a gladius. So we're all sitting there, it's like we have like 3 different generations of sword here. We're just gonna start wailing on each other, and we did. We go to pull out. A cop decided to pull into the parking lot. I don't think they were there for us, but we don't know for a fact. We left before they had an issue. We sat there for like 15 minutes, half hour, just. It was amazing. Now it is a bit spotty because it's been in my truck since I got back from the trip.
Freaking, I don't care.
But I do need it because he was saying like I think he was saying motor oil. He can just sit down there and just.
Yeah. No, this is pretty nice. It's got a pretty good. It's a little forward heavy, but I mean for that's okay.
Yeah. And
Hubert
he'd gotten that for me because at the time my bank had shut down for some reason. Like it was just out that day, so I couldn't like use my card whatsoever. The worst time for it to shut down, for the record.
Did it come with the
No.
Hubert
That for me. So he decided to get in one go that sword, this holster, his sword, and his holster, which was it was the bandolier.
Okay.
This man spent like $1,200.
I was gonna say that's probably actually cheap.
1,200 pounds.
Yeah.
Now with pounds being $1.50 to their pound,
again, that's probably pretty cheap for HEMA equipment.
these are like
they're
they're handmade swords.
I was gonna say the swords that I was looking at were like 600, 700 per sword.
So for this man to literally just drop in
yeah.
one go that much, especially in pounds, like the total came.
Yeah, you said you've already smacked this. You've already smacked around with this thing. Did you get any like actual former? Like, did you get like a
little bit?
I was gonna say, did you get like a buster course on this?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That. I was gonna say, did you get a crash course on this?
No.
We'll have to have a video of me giving in a crash course.
Isn't it just beautiful though?
Yeah, we're actually right now we're looking at bringing in a HEMA course into our program. The guys who did Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh HEMA.
Who did like the Iron Plow and that stuff, who started up the HEMA group in Pittsburgh. They are currently working with us to try to bring it to our area. So,
because that's one thing. The reason why I never got into HEMA was because I didn't feel like driving all the way out to the zoo area to have training on that.
Yeah, but no, we're currently working on bringing it to us. Yeah, no, that's a pretty nice one. That's a pretty nice one.
Made me happy.
Yeah, you'll have to actually learn how to use it. All right, have a seat. We're going to our next tea.
I just love that sound, sir.
I'll let you try to pronounce this. What type of tea this is? How do you open? What? Whoa, that's a weird box.
Yeah, it's a weird box.
I'll let you try to pronounce that.
Where did you get this? Oh, turmeric ashwagandha.
Yeah, turmeric ashwagandha.
I know that.
There you go.
My dad has these supplements at home.
Let's say I've never had this, but I do know that they do take this for like joint pain and stuff like that.
Perfect. So if my joints are too cold from today's activities, I'll be fine. Also, tomorrow I have a show. So
there you go.
That smells
What show
like
are you doing?
Butt cheeks.
What show are you doing?
Well, my girlfriend is she's rather involved in performance.
Well,
she
yes.
is a performer. She sings, she dances, she does a lot of things. She is her own startup performer and artist in general. So she does, that wasn't a sigh of disappointment. That was, I've gotten involved in this and I'm dedicating to it. She likes Taylor Swift a whole lot. So she redoes the Eras Tour. She remakes the Eras Tour on TikTok. And just recently, she started getting booked to actually do it at parties and
that's cool.
events. So, with my theater background, the first time we started dating, like a month or so in, she goes, "Do you want to dance?" And I go, "I guess." So I've been dedicated. That is unnaturally yellow. Like that is
very yellow.
I have not drank water in about 3 days, and I just woke up in the morning yellow.
That is very yellow.
It smells hearty. But yeah,
it is an Indian tea.
I smell it. But yeah, so tomorrow there is a show that we've been preparing for.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. You've always thrived more mentally. Like it's been very good for your mental state when you are part of shows.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about this, like with the fact that it's not just a, hey, here's a big burst of rehearse, show, and then you're done. It is something that frequently kind of just comes back up and it's like, oh, hey, we're doing this. Oh, hey, we're doing this. And it makes me happy. There's a big difference though in like pop music choreography as opposed to
very different.
Theater. And like that is one thing that I've definitely struggled with. Her brother is the teacher, but he learned all this, so he's not a very good teacher at it. He very much does like so. We've definitely butt heads a little bit trying to learn.
Well, I was gonna say,
but
you know somebody who's literally getting their doctorate in that.
Pop music?
In performance, in modern performance.
I know a lot of people.
American.
I know that your sister does.
Yeah, she's getting her doctorate in American performance.
And that, if I can
through dance.
If I can at least get some at least verbal pointers, maybe not actual dance pointers, but like She might be able to actually help me with that a little bit somehow.
That
is yellow.
Yeah, it's very
Looks
yellow.
like curry, ironically.
But no, she is literally she is specializing, getting her doctorate in American dance performance.
I mean, your sister's always been more, how do I say, I don't want to say academically inclined.
No, she's very active.
I mean, yeah, but like, I'm trying, there's a better way
She's all
to
book
explain
smarts.
it.
She's all book smarts.
Oh, so, yeah, but like, every single time that I think I've ever like talked or seen your sister do anything else but just exist in your house, it's been on stage, especially whenever she did that interpretational dance at the church one year for Christmas.
Yes. Yep.
And that was, I'm like, interpretational.
Yeah.
That was, I think, my first time I've ever seen an interpretational dance to a song. It was pretty
cool. It's how she's kind of taken everything. It's been very interesting. She's done a lot of like quote unquote creepy dances in the past. Through modern, she got a very good modern training actually out in Slippery Rock. It's one of the best dance colleges in the country, even though no one talks about it. But
because everyone always talks about like all these other places up in like New York and stuff for performance.
Yeah, but there is she is currently working with a theater right now for her doctorate, and part of her degrees is getting to do performances at this theater, and she is currently she has a performance that she is making. She's making a show.
Like a musical play, or like what are you talking about? Like a
so she is doing a 1950s themed Nutcracker.
Rattling boys.
So a lot of her performance studies is on trying to kind of like the deeper understanding of the performance. So she's doing the 1950s form of Nutcracker, but doing it in a way of like trying to show the like nostalgia, almost of trying to hit on nostalgia and what we felt like was real and what we felt like was the good old times of the 1950s was like the golden era, quote unquote, but how kind of awful it actually was.
Yeah.
Like so in between like the story and stuff and how she has it wrote up, there's gonna be like commercials that run, but these like from the 1950s.
Yep.
And there's this one it was on yogurt, I think. There's this yogurt commercial back in the day of like China Baby. Where it was this little, very honestly racist little Chinese boy, baby.
America. Yeah.
That was their selling point. That was their was this little Chinese baby, and whatnot. So and she's gonna get to talk about segregation and stuff at the time period for this show. But it's getting put up for awards and stuff already, and she's throwing it in through a bunch of different things, and she's getting to work on a bunch of different topics. She's doing a Fred Rogers.
You can't live in this area without.
Yeah, she's doing a Fred Rogers piece right now that's getting thrown up into the Fred Rogers like foundation.
Yeah.
And
is she getting like actual funding from them by chance? Like, is there any fun?
There is to a point through the programs that she's going through. There are to a point. But yeah, no, she's going through a lot of different academic resources. She has a couple different papers already published and up for awards. Again, like
is she actually going to perform it by chance?
The Nutcracker,
the one you're
the
talking
show.
About? Yeah.
She is a backup, so there's gonna be 13 people running through the whole show. It's like a full 2-hour show.
Is it dance heavy? Knowing your sister?
I mean, there's dances in it. No one she's working with though are dancers.
Perfect.
They're all
cast.
They're all. You gonna go down to Louisiana?
Oh.
I mean.
No.
But yeah, this is all down in Baton Rouge. She's part of LSU now, going for a doctorate. And another fun fact is she is currently specializing in something that there is no specialist in the country right now for. The last one died in like 1986. So she is the first person to study this in a long time in America. And specialize in this. So she will be the person to talk to if you need research on this subject. Anyways,
I'll keep that in my speed dial.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop gloating a little bit here for a second to talk about my own achievements.
Go for it.
So past year, you got to go to Europe, you said.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of travel myself.
No.
Mine has all been for tournaments, though.
At least you're doing beneficial stuff.
I would say, well, yours is beneficial too. I don't talk about it a lot on any of our channels, but I do martial arts. Like I was just talking about for the sword, we as a family own a martial arts school, and I do a lot of martial arts, and I compete in martial arts. A lot of different things. Right now, the past year, we have been focusing in on breaking and what's called continuous sparring. So continuous sparring is, for those who know, it's like one step up from point sparring, but not quite kickboxing.
You've lost me.
So it's stand up. It's all stand up where there's no
groundwork.
I mean, you can do leg sweeps, but like you can't. Like the leg sweeps are very limited on leg sweeps and like the throws that you are allowed to do. But yeah, no groundwork on that. But then it's also not full contact. It's like in a semi-contact range. So like you're allowed to hit people harder, but you're not trying to take their head off or break something. Oftentimes though, you do get into situations where people are trying to take your head off, because when you start getting into nationals, internationals,
people start getting serious with it.
Yeah, and people don't pull anything. Which it's been a very interesting transition. I'm not used to, so one of the requirements, we're going through the WKC, which is, they do have a World Series through it. It's not quite Waco or NASCA, but they do have a World Series for it. But they require boxing gloves, like 10-ounce boxing gloves.
That's kind of sad.
I've never worn boxing gloves. I literally bought boxing gloves for this, and I'm used to MMA gloves. I'm used to more of the wraps. Yeah, well, I'm used to the MMA gloves. And then I don't really know what they're called. I think they're just point fighter gloves is what they officially call them. They don't use them in point sparring anymore, but it's like the traditional, like the old-timey gloves. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. But they're like the old-timey gloves. But those are required, boxing gloves are required, and they're a little different.
Yeah.
Well, first off, they put your hand in a position where you're going to break your hand if you actually punch hard.
Yeah.
But they're a little bigger, so blocking's a little easier, but also
it's more awkward. You got to throw more power behind a punch.
Well, it's not power per se, but like you can't sneak your hand into between gaps and in people's defenses quite as easy.
Yeah.
And grabbing is weird.
That makes sense, yeah.
With it, it's a lot easier to hook people, but it's a lot harder to like keep control of it. So it's been a little bit of a curve. I did get to nationals again for 2025 for this, and I mean last year was our first year trying to go for the WKC Worlds, and I did not go for it. We had one of our other international competitors going for WKC. First time through, got third place. So, for a first time, and her not being even close to a black belt, going against black belts, that was great. That's one thing about WKC is they don't have, like, belt divisions. They go by weight, and they go by your sex. Male or female.
No, I
yeah.
Yeah, like I thought anything else was happening.
But they go by your weight, they go by your sex, and then they do technically go by age.
Okay.
But it's like 18 to 35.
Oh, that's a big bracket. Okay.
So 18 to 35 belt rank doesn't matter. So it's been for her. I was super happy. I was so excited to see her go through Worlds for that. But then we figured last year was in Portugal. We weren't unfortunately able. Her coaches weren't unfortunately able to go with her to Portugal, which sucked. But we're gonna try to go this year with her. It's up in Niagara this year, so it's a little bit easier to access. And I figured I'm going anyway. I might as well try to compete in something. So I'm going to nationals this year, which would be nice. But on another note, I won a World Series.
News to me.
I won a World Series. I won the United States and World Breaking Association Grand Championship.
Oh, I know, you did tell me about that, I think. You showed me videos in the medal for it, I think, didn't you?
I got a plaque and a ring for it. Oh, I got a power ring for it.
To break the sport's easier, of course.
But yeah, I got, if you don't know, the USBA WBA is it's kind of the minor leagues, but they have a World Series. Because it is a World Breaking Association. They do, like, I think they just had like a tournament out in Australia. They've had them in Ireland before. It used to be bigger, but then it started to die off. And then it's starting to pick back speed up again. But it's competing in breaking stuff, in martial arts. Now,
Like bones.
well, yeah. We do boards and bricks and baseball bats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I remember the phase. You're like, I'm looking for an oak bat.
Yeah,
Oak?
ash.
That's right. That's
Ash
really bad.
bat.
Because all you could find was oak at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, all we were able to find were oak. But in all honesty, it's because there was a really bad rap to breaking, which I get. In all honesty, as somebody who was in it, there's a very bad reputation to breaking. So for a couple of different reasons. Number one was people, especially in the early phases of martial arts, were faking the breaks. So they had like fake bricks. They
had hollowed out woods or whatever.
Yeah, they were scoring them. They were doing a lot of really unethical things with breaking. And then even in more modern times, the things that they are breaking are really, really easy. So like they'll use 1/2-inch dry kilned wood for their breaks, and then they'll break like 1 or 2 boards for their black belt test.
So that's a question. How well do you know woods then? How well would an ironwood break be?
An ironwood? Ironwoods are a little tougher because it's
ironwood,
a hardwood. It would depend more on the grain and how wet the wood is. In all honesty, I'd have to kind of look through it. I mean, ironwood with a average grain and about what we do in like wetness, we just buy stuff from Home Depot.
Makes sense.
And Lowe's. We don't really. Now we're sitting through there. And we're like trying to pick out the best wood we can. Like we're listing. That's a heavy one. That one's a little bit lighter. Like we're we're not trying to buy this horrible wood, but we do just buy it at Home Depot and cut it up ourselves. Because it's cheaper that way, and it's a little bit more realistic. But
do you have any videos of you breaking anything yet?
Oh yeah.
On your account.
On my account. No,
this account.
No, not on this account either. I don't actually. The only video that's ever gone up on my channel of anything martial arts related at all was, it's actually my most viewed video on my channel. It's a 10-second clip of I had a soda can and I did a steel finger and I threw my finger through the soda can. Yeah. That's kind of more of a parlor trick. I mean, you're never gonna use a steel finger through anything, but anyway, yes, ironwood. Going back to your original question, ironwood, it would probably be worth like if we were cut it down to roughly the same size, it'd be worth probably about 2 of our boards put together. Because we use oak. We use standard oak wood. It's 1 inch thick, as close to 1 inch that you can buy anyway. When you buy inch wood anymore, it's more like 7/8 to a 3/4.
Yeah,
they really cheap up anymore.
It's the false advertising.
Yeah, but then we do they're 12 by 12 at our school. That's what we do for our adults. It's 12 by 12 with 1 inch thick. That's pretty standard. That's what the average Joe Schmo does. At least that's what it should be. Again, a lot of people don't. Competing, it's 12 by 10 inch, so it's a little bit easier than what we do at our school.
Okay.
But when you look at that, again, there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's a little bit harder, right? The 12 by 12 inch, they are harder than, well, what most people see out online. And when it really starts becoming difficult is when you start stacking them, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, one of the arguments that oftentimes gets told is like you're putting spacers in between them, right? Spacers make it easier.
Yes.
They do. They make it easier. They put space in between them.
So the horse can kind of still not get broken and can continue through it.
Yeah, and now I have done without spacers.
Okay.
My record is a 12-inch block. So it was 12 boards, 12-inch thick of 12 by 12. That actually is the world record.
So you're on par with the world record, is what you're saying?
No, world record's 11.
Oh, you broke the world record.
Yeah, I broke the world record.
I didn't see it. I need to see it to believe it.
I have a video, but it's on the thing we're videoing. We're videoing with right now. I'll show it to you afterwards. But so it is possible to break without it, but the thing with putting it without all the boards, in all honesty, the biggest thing why we usually put space between them and not keep them all together is when you keep them all together, it's either you break all of them or you break none of them.
Sure.
And if you break none of them, all of the power is going back into your hand or your
And
foot.
you break it.
And you break your hand, you break your foot, and it really hurts. Whenever you're doing space, when you have space in them, you'll break the number that you're at.
Yes.
Right? So if I have 10 boards out and I break 7 of them, the power goes through those 7, and I now know where I'm at more, and it hurts my hand less. Now, when you start getting into that, concrete actually starts becoming easier than wood at certain levels of stacking. Because wood slides.
Yes.
When you need more technique at to break 15 boards spaced than you do to break 10 bricks spaced.
Yeah. Because
the bricks won't slide on you. Bricks, we tend to say, are, if you buy good bricks, they're patio stones. They're
the little square slabs.
Yeah, they're the square slabs. They're like an
slabs.
1.5 2 inch thick. I'm not exactly sure. It's like an 1.5 inch, I think. But then it's like a 6x8 slab. They're really weird. So you get slabs that you pick them up and they break on you. But then you'll have slabs. I've had slabs before. I was trying to do a break that was like a freestanding break, so it was just in the air.
Yeah.
And I hit it, and it bounced off of concrete and didn't break. So again, it's there's a little bit of inconsistency. Again, you're at Lowe's and Home Depot. Is that a good one? That one doesn't look like it's gonna break easily.
So it's hard to stay more consistent with the stone as well. Then.
It's a little bit more inconsistent. But generally speaking, a brick is worth 2 boards. They also say that if you were to hit directly into a rib, it would be the same force to crack a rib as it is to break a brick.
I feel like I start training.
Now, whenever you do that, they're not talking about muscle over top of the ribs. They're talking about
exposed rib.
Yeah, exposed rib. So in actuality, to crack a rib, you're looking more at 3 to 4 on average if you're fighting
bricks.
Yeah, if you're looking at a fighter, you're looking more at 3 or 4 bricks. But anyway, like I said, when you get to the USBA, WBA, or what the ISK breaking, which is the professionals, I have actually competed in that. I got 2nd place. Didn't mean to compete in that.
Didn't mean to compete.
No, dead serious. So I did the qualifiers on a whim. So this is a little bit off topic, but I competed 2024 into 2025. Their year starts in July actually. So whatever. But I was wanting to compete in a side kick. Right, that's one of my favorite things is a side kick. They say they don't work. That's wrong. Factually wrong. But I have a very strong side kick. And I thought I was doing what's called a machine side kick, which is basically the wood non-spaced up on a machine. They don't have a professionals league. There's only 4 divisions in the professional league. But that wasn't professional. I thought that's what I was doing. And then I was going to do a foot stomp for something else. A brick foot stomp. Yeah. All right. So I signed up for it. I thought it was okay. We go back and look at it. I signed up for a wooden foot stomp and a brick foot stomp, not a side kick. And I went, well, I don't want to do another foot stomp. That's dumb. I already am doing a foot stomp. Why am I going to do 2? So we went through and we were like, is there anything that I can change it to? Because there's no refunds on it. Is there anything I can change it to? And I'd already bought material and stuff, and that's a whole other story. Yeah. But we went and we saw, well, they are doing one sidekick division, power sidekick division, and it happened to be a power concrete.
So the thing lining up.
And it was the ISK qualifiers.
So okay.
So we went, I'm not going to try to qualify, but I just want to do a side kick, and I'm not going to get my money back anyway, so let's go for it. Let's do it. So we get there, and we're going through, and Justin Poirier and Steve Fisher, they're 2 really big names in the breaking field. Well, they've both won the Grand Championship 5-6 times. They're really big. They're part of Team Chip. Team Chip has won it 15, 16 times. He holds the records for the most bats, most bricks. He is a really big deal. And we were very lucky. We got to actually talk to Chip on a meeting, and he hooked us up with Justin Poirier and Steve Fisher. They kind of showed us the ropes the first year, and it was really nice. This year they came through. They were very respectful, and we were very nice to us, helping us out. And we get to the ISK qualifiers. We have no clue what we're doing. Okay, we've set up breaks before at our school, but we didn't really know what we were doing. We were using, you know, what we kind of knew, right? Yeah. And they get there, and we've always used wooden spacers, okay? Pencil spacers. They're literally just carpenter pencils that we used as spacers,
Yes.
right? We get there, they don't have carpenter's pencils there. We're like, what the heck?
Oh no.
Then they set down this box of metal spacers. We're like,
How big's the spacer?
are those
Is it
them?
thinner?
They're like a quarter inch. They're like a quarter inch.
Okay. So
About the same, a little shorter, but we're like, we don't really know. So I asked him, hey, sir, excuse me, are these the spacers? That's all I say.
Yeah.
I said, are these the spacers?
You're
And
he's
like,
spacers.
he's like, yes, they are. And then he walks over and he completely sets up my entire break, which requires to set up a tower. I'll show like a picture of a tower. So a tower is how you keep the bricks up at, because I'm breaking at like my chest height. That's where the bricks need to stay.
Yeah.
So you're building a tower of bricks to put these bricks on to break. And so him and Steve Fisher come over and they are just spewing information at us. All right, like we could have wrote down an entire paper on how much information they were giving us to how to set it up and everything.
Yeah.
Because we had it right sort of, but then they had a ton of more information. They had like dead bricks and stuff, all sorts of things. But so we go through. I'm the first to break. I am very first breaker.
All eyes on you.
All eyes on me. We go through and they ask, do you want me to hold it for you? I'm like, sure. So they both sit in the back and they'll hold it to brace it, right? Because that way there's something. There's some sort of like backing force behind it, right? Now there are what are called speed breaks where you don't have a backing force. Exactly. Those are like you just toss the board up in the air and you break it in midair. Those require a lot more speed. It's not a power break. Yeah. We're looking at purely power. And so they go through. I do my kick. I break 10 of 10. Okay, I do 10 bricks on it, and nobody else gets it. So here I am, and I am now having to compete at Worlds later that afternoon.
Oh, okay,
because that happened at like 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, and now at this point, I've already weighed in twice. I did a 10-pound water cut for that.
Don't know what that is.
So I went and sweat off 10 pounds.
Nasty. Dehydration is fun.
Pretty much. I dehydrated myself for it. So I weighed in once, started drinking, went, oh crap, I need to weigh in again. That's a whole other story. Had to weigh in. Okay, I come back. Now, we go through the tournament. I've competed in a couple other things now at this point. Won everything I competed. Yeah. We're getting another tease started here while I continue my stories. Where was I? Oh.
Weighed in.
We weighed in. Now, the ISKA qualifiers, this was the first year back that they got to put it on television. So they weren't on television for a couple of
You were on television?
Years. I was not on television.
Damn.
Because they had time for 3 divisions out of the 4 divisions. The sidekick was the one division that was not on television.
No one cares about sidekicks. Right?
They did put clips of the sidekick in between like breaks because it takes some time to set stuff up. For power breaks, you have 8 minutes to set up. For creative, you have 6 minutes to set up, break, and tear down.
So they kind of just had a little bit.
They had a little bit of time. They kept it running really well. The guy who runs it all, he runs it very smoothly. So it had to be moved to the day of that I was competing in, not the next day, which was when the TV televised stuff was. And so it's now 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So this tournament runs all day. And we're going through and we're like, all right, I got to go in. Yeah. And I qualified for it. I've been eating, I've been drinking, thinking I weighed in twice already. I go in, you need to weigh in for the ISKA now. So I go in, I go over, I weigh myself. I hit like 199.5, which the cutoff is 200. So they let me go. The cutoff is 200. 200 and under, you're a lightweight. 200 and over, you're a heavyweight. So I made it. But
no, wait. If you were a lightweight competing in the heavyweight, would that give you any speed advantage compared to them?
Not when it comes because we're looking at power.
Oh, okay, never mind.
These are our power breaks, so it's purely by the number of bricks.
Okay, so literally you would have gotten boned.
Well, the difference between lightweight and heavyweight is not as big as you would think. Lightweights world record's like 12, 13 bricks in one shot. For heavyweight, it's like 14. Oh. It's not much of a difference because the little guys have the speed to make up for the weight that the heavy guys have.
Yeah, that's the philosophy I live by in life.
Yeah.
That's why I like cutlasses over his handers.
Because I guess this did technically happen in 2024. This is not the Grand Championship that I won. It's the Grand Championship I took.
We're getting there. We get there when we get there.
Yeah. So yeah, this was like right over 4th of July.
I hope that actual
that this happened.
Does not taste whatever. That was. I think I like that tea.
I like that tea too.
That was a
yeah,
very good
it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all.
Like I added sugar to it, and I think that definitely improved the taste because, God, it was bold. It was a very, very boldly flavored tea.
Yeah, no, but that wasn't bad. It was not bad at all.
Okay.
Next tea we have is Egyptian licorice tea. Egyptian licorice tea.
I like the Egyptians. I kind of like licorice.
While we're getting this set up though, we go in, I weigh in, I set up. Now I don't have bricks for this because I was not expecting to do this.
Don't tell
so,
me
no, so I ordered bricks right there on the spot, and we go, I don't know how many I can break because I broke 10. Right? I broke all 10.
Yeah.
Can I break more than that?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Next question, is 10 enough to win win? I don't know. Because again, I had
Zero ideas.
clue at the time. So we went, you know what? Let's buy 12 bricks. Right? Because if you tie with somebody, they go by percentages. So if I get 10, which what happened actually what happened, I lost on percentages. So I ended up breaking 10 of the 12 bricks.
That is pungent.
Looking at the film again, it was a very bad kick. I wasn't happy with it at all. But I got 10 of 12 bricks. All right, and we go through. Everybody breaks. No one gets 10, except for me, until the very last person, who was the defending champion. And instead of trying for 11 bricks or 12 bricks to beat me in bricks, he went down to 10 bricks. Because he broke 10 of 10 bricks.
Yes.
And so we tied technically on bricks. I broke 10 of 12, he broke 10 of 10. But because he broke 100% of the bricks he put out, where I only broke 80, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that'd be 80.
No, because it's 12 bricks.
So at that point,
it would be
knock it
10
down.
twelfths,
Yeah.
which would be 5/6. 5/6
Look,
of my
you lost
bricks
me
instead of
already.
6 of 6. I broke a lesser percentage of my bricks. He won.
Yes.
So I got second place in the professional worlds. Fast forward here, the USBA WBA. I am a part of the affiliate thing where you kind of have to go in to be a part of it, and you need to do it for ice skate. Almost any martial art, you have to pay to be part of the thing, to be a member of it. But we go through and let's say put the bags over there.
I was just saying, yeah, that's my trash can.
We go through and I'm doing okay. I go to the Northeast Open, which that's at the U.S. Open. The World Series is at the U.S. Open every year, which is really cool. We get to see people from Australia and stuff fly in. It's really fun. But I go up to the Northeast Open. I win. I got 1 second place. But everything else got first places, doing pretty good, pretty happy how I did. And then we see, this happened about 2 months ago, I want to say. There was the USBA WBA Grand Championships up in
You are sloppy.
Connecticut. I saw that. That's okay. Up in Connecticut.
You went to Connecticut?
Yep, I did go to Connecticut.
That city still exists?
Yep. And so I went, okay, sure, why not? I had time. I decided I'll head on over. So we go up. I needed to compete in 4 divisions. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't do well in my brick divisions. So it was a downward foot stomp break, which I got 3rd place in. But then it was a downward elbow through bricks. And oh my goodness, you want to talk about something I'm bad at? I'm bad at downward elbows. I was awful. I didn't place on that at all. So I was thinking, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna compete in my other 2. I did get first place in my other 2, though. So we're going through, but then the Grand Championship goes between lightweight, heavyweight, female, and male. It's just you are the Grand Champion, no matter. Sorry for the pause in our story here. That's very licorice forward.
It's not sweet, but then it is sweet because the licorice kicks in as the aftertaste.
Yeah, that's a very interesting flavor.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a very interesting profile. But that's one of the main reasons why I thought I wasn't gonna win, was that they put the heavyweights, lightweights, male, female, they all went together. Okay?
Can I see that box?
Yeah, in this. And so we go through, and we're at the end. They're like, please stay afterwards so we can announce the grand championship, yada yada. When I'm go up, like, yeah, and I hear the second place. I'm like, yeah, okay. I wonder who the first place is. Got second place looks over at me, goes, I think it's you. Like,
No.
it's not me. No, it's not me. They call my name. Oh, at this time I sent Mr. Kintai off. I sent him to go clean up our stuff. He comes walking in as they're taking like my professional picture with all this stuff.
You're way down my father.
Because they like immediately when they called me up, they immediately like pulled me out of the line. They immediately shoved this massive camera up in my face. They got this plaque in my hands, put a ring on my finger, and put money in my hands. And it was like, and they all like surround me like. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know how I got here, but I'm happy I did.
I have no clue what I'm doing, but thanks. So yeah, I've officially won a World Series. I was meaning actually to bring the ring in, but I did not. The only finger it fits is my pinky finger.
I was gonna say, how did they do your ring size?
They didn't.
I was gonna say they couldn't.
They just handed me a ring. Yeah, it's I'll have to bring it in one time. But it fits. The only finger fits is my pinky, and it's loose on my pinky. So I can't really.
So it's loose on your pinky,
but it cannot go down any other finger.
You've broken your fingers too many times, so they're too thick.
Well, it is the knuckles that it can't get over. It can't.
That makes sense too.
So yeah, I got some money from it, and I won a championship. And then like 3 weeks later, I went for the WKC qualifiers, and I got to national. I'm going to nationals. So.
Where's that?
The Nationals is, I want to say, in Massachusetts this year. Massachusetts, Detroit,
Come with me.
one of those places.
Massachusetts.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah. So
It's fun.
I've had again, I don't really talk about my martial arts career per se as we go through.
Here you are dropping bombs saying, I secretly hit the world record of breaks. And you're going off to compete all these world records. Like, you kind of like just dropped a bomb of like, I'm actually a superhero on YouTube, I feel. Because like you never talk about your personal life all too much. So like whenever you bring up all of a sudden like, yeah, I do all these championships, you're like, you bring up that you're kind of, basically a superhero.
And for and I guess for those who are, because I know how the martial arts, and that's mainly why I don't do it, is the martial arts community online is honestly really bad.
Is it really?
Yeah. I know all sports have these people, but it just tends to be more in martial arts of like, you could be the best fighter in the world and people are going to be hating on you. And it's...
I can see that almost in a weird sense of like, if you kind of look at it in a weird way, I feel martial arts can also be subjective like art.
It is, because it is an art.
Yes.
It is an art.
Martial arts.
Everybody has their own thoughts on it. There, you have those guys who are like, their martial arts don't work, like street fights, or what are you gonna do against a gun or a knife? Or then you have those people like MMA. Oh, the MMA is the only thing that works. Jiu-Jitsu is the only thing that works. Those are the two big ones. No one says that. Muay Thai. Again, I'm picking on these ones because there's no one out there saying karate is the only style that works. That no one's saying that. Same with Taekwondo. No one's going Taekwondo is the only style that works. But no one says that. I am ITF Taekwondo myself personally, and Judo, but nobody goes around saying we're the only style that works. I understand, but a lot of people have that mentality of it, and then no matter what you put online, it's just really like a dog eat dog world. Unfortunately, martial arts. That's why I don't post anything of martial arts.
Okay, but here's the thing though: I feel like at that point you're strictly comparing other people who know martial arts, when in reality, I feel like the majority of our 100 and some odd subscribers probably, chances are, only took a karate class or two in their life.
Well, that's the issue, though, is they think they know everything there is about martial arts as well, and they're going to comment. They're going to comment, too.
I will say right here, right now, you come at this man who's competed and won a world championship series? I don't know what you call it.
A championship.
Okay, you come at this man.
I was going to say, and
I'll
also...
personally track you down. He has the fighting skills. I have the tracking skills, just so you know.
I was going to say, for those of you who, like, say MMA and stuff, I have also won tournaments for MMA as well. So
Again.
it's not like I'm missing my ground game or anything. I do judo. I know it doesn't have as good of a ground game as jiu-jitsu, but between my throws and my striking on the ground, I'm usually pretty good. I've won series of tournaments at the U.S. Open for MMA.
Yeah, you're a mask and about $1 billion away from being Batman. I hope you're aware of this.
that'd be cool because I also do all the HEMA stuff. I do all the kendo and I do Okinawan karate, kabuto, Okinawan kabuto. Oh,
I am being called.
I'm gonna actually start getting the next tee started while he's doing that because the next tee is the cool one. These are cool. I would rate this. I rate this one high. These are both been pretty good. I'm rating both of these around 6 or 7. English breakfast, that's like a standard 5, 6.
I know we totally skipped the ratings. I realized.
Yeah, 5, 6 English breakfast. These two I'm gonna put at a 6 or 7. I'm gonna get the next one started though because the next one's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna use you won't. No balls.
But
For that being the first thing that this camera recording heard, I really hope you keep that in. You do it, no balls.
all right, so. Sorry, in between I was showing him some videos and stuff. But This is our last tea. I put the tea back in here. Don't look at it yet. I want
to smell it.
You don't smell it yet either.
Dang it.
I want you to see as it pours in.
I'm not smelling it. It's coming into my nose by its own volition. Wait.
Like I said, this is the cool one.
Wait. Wait. No, I've never seen. Now.
Did you see why I wanted the clear cups for today?
Is this... Can I smell it now?
You can smell it now. Zane, I was going to give it away. That's why I didn't want you smelling it.
I still haven't fully got. It's blue. Is it not blueberry?
This is blueberry, yes.
How much food dye do they put? Is this?
There is no food dye in this.
Is this blue?
This is butterfly pea flour. Okay?
Ew, butterfly pea.
They put pea flour in it, which turns it blue. But just as a warning, this will also turn your pee blue. Blue or green later on. This is gonna change the color of your urine. But no, this we sourced this beautiful blue flower from the lush countryside of Thailand. Delicate climbing vines wind along the secluded paths of the family-run garden. This exquisite blossom is gently plucked by hand, carefully harvested to protect each petal, and then dried in the warm sun. We paired this magical flower with the perfect flavors for you to take one sip and escape to your tropical journey. But yeah, no, this is
That's what we need in this
it's
frozen.
a blue tea. Yeah, the stunning indigo blue is often associated with tranquility and spirituality.
I like blue.
Admired for centuries for its versatility and mesmerizing color.
Blue is my favorite color.
But so it's blended with sweet pineapple and juicy mango that takes you an unexpected adventure to awaken the senses and soothe the soul. But yeah, no, this is the cool one. This is the one I wanted to. This was kind of like today's big adventure. Was the blueberry
You really taste the
or the
mango
blue
now.
tea? I'll let you just you can just throw it in here. So we'll get rid of this later.
That was better.
But yeah, blue tea. Very subtle flavor.
I've
but
never
not bad.
never
Not
tasted
bad.
an unsweetened pineapple
I
bowl.
was gonna say that's not bad. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. See, okay, question. Who thinks blue and says pineapple mango?
The flavor content, the flavor profile.
Also, who looks at a tea and thinks, I want a fruit flavored thing, but not have it sweet like the fruit of its flavored after? So I'm needing to. It's good without. I think I definitely like the last one we had with the cinnamon.
The Egyptian licorice.
Yeah,
that one was pretty
I
good.
like that. I almost like that without the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Adding the sugar definitely brought a bit more of the spice out there, I will say, which is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit extra.
See, we are still tea time tasters. We started off with a generic tea, but we got more interesting.
Tasting the teas.
We got more interesting. And see, this is probably the most interesting tea we've had.
I think this one, color alone is 10 out of 10 for me. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I like my 10. I like my blue. 10 out of 10.
No, this is really cool. So, one last thing, we were able to talk a lot. Well, I'm gonna move on from martial arts stuff. Again, I'm sure at some point it will come back up again, but
Right.
something I had actually here that I was gonna hand to hand was, this is a Discover Your True Genius. These are ancient metal puzzles.
They don't look so ancient to me.
No, they're not ancient, but they go through the Copper, Bronze, and Iron Age, getting in more difficulty. Is that good? I might try some
Dude,
of that.
literally, I think for you, if you're just doing like a dibble of sugar.
I might do that. But I have a bunch of these metal puzzles. And I just want you, for the last little bit here, we're going to go ahead and solve some. So we'll go through the copper first, and then go through bronze, and then silver. I will say I've already beat all these, and hopefully I put them all back together properly. But it took me about a half an hour of fiddling to get through them all.
All these?
Yeah, to get through all of them. I will say this is the hardest one. But I've done that one before, but I didn't remember how I did it, and it was still the hardest one, even though I had done it in the past.
Just grab one and go.
Just grab the first one and go.
I'm going with the spring. The spring sound. So the objective, I'm assuming, is to
take them apart. The goal is to take everything apart. Mind if I borrow your spoon?
Not one bit.
But while you're doing that, yeah. So other things that have happened to my life, but that's anyway. If you've seen my channel is a travel channel, and it was honestly started because of all of the tournaments that I've been doing. And if you ever wonder how I pick where I'm going, it's because I have a tournament there. But we just actually went through and we scheduled out all my tournaments. I'm going to be hitting like 11, 12 tournaments this year.
So you'll be traveling.
Yeah, I'll be traveling a lot, and we also actually have I have a family vacation. I'm going to head out with my family down to Louisiana to see my sister in LSU. But we are going for Mardi Gras this year, which is going to be super fun. And you're going to get videos if you watch my channel. You're going to get videos of Mardi Gras, 100%. But no, I'm very excited to go to Mardi Gras.
Cool. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
No. You're working. That's why I'm talking. Yeah. So I'm gonna get to go to Mardi Gras. Lots of things. I've been told by my sister, who's now been part of Mardi Gras before, that she literally has gotten garbage bags full of
alcohol
stuff from Mardi Gras, of beads and stuff. I'm going to be bringing home 90% of my beads. So if you want some Mardi Gras authentic beads, the sugar doesn't do too bad with that. I think you can have some. But
beads.
Yes, beads. But I've actually got to learn a lot about Louisiana, New Orleans. It's on with all this. I know I don't know exactly when this is coming out, but just recently there was a attack in New Orleans. So I know this is a little weird talking about this, but I'm gonna still talk about it. But I've gotten to learn a lot about Mardi Gras and some of the floats and traditions and stuff, and I found it very interesting.
Sorry.
Hey, first one, good job. You don't need to put it back together. Just throw it in the box.
Okay.
There are certain items that I would never have thought would be thrown at a crowd out of a float that way.
Like?
So, we're going to start with ones that I know are, one that I happen to know is in Mardi Gras, of a coconut.
That makes sense. Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, they will throw a coconut
at your face.
At your face.
Solid.
In Baton Rouge, when they do their festivals, they throw and hand out beer.
They're gonna say dildos. I feel like that's coming up. Some sort of sex toy is gonna be brought up here in a second. No. Well then.
Another one that I happen to know is when they do parades for almost everything down there, and they do one for the Irish parade, and they chuck vegetables at you, like raw potatoes and onions and carrots at you.
Right, bless you.
So that after the parade, you can go home and make a stew out of the
In the South, I think it's called a gumbo.
Stuff that they do. Yeah, they do a lot of gumbo down there. I've gotten to do a lot of the different food down there. Some of the Cajun, some of the Creole. Although I've been told I have not had true Creole. That there's like a very specific part. I think it was Lafayette. There's a very specific part of Louisiana that does Creole, and everyone else kind of does Cajun. So I don't know if I've had direct Creole, but I've gotten to try a lot of the food. It's very good, very spicy. We're gonna be down there apparently right at the end of crawfish season, but like right in the heart of shrimp season. And 2 years ago, I think it was, we went down to see my sister, and it was right in the heart of shrimp season again, and we got a pound of shrimp for $1.
That's a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, it was a pound. It was a pound of shrimp for $1, and then they do tons of crab, lots of crustaceans. Obviously, they got the crawfish down there, but tons of crab down there as well. We got that's some of the best oysters I've ever had down there. Of getting some raw oysters down there. I love the food. Love the food. Yeah,
I'm so invested in this toy, but I think I've backed myself into a corner somehow.
Yeah, this was I got these for Christmas. I got them as a Christmas present. Yeah, I get cool stuff for Christmas.
I got a drone. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
and 2 juicers.
You did get a juicer.
2.
You did get two. I stand corrected. 2 juicers.
You're sitting though.
I
Stand corrected.
Good
man.
Yep. So I do have that coming up, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, lots of travel. So plenty of videos I'm going to have coming up here. I know over the winter seasons here we have been a little bit slacking on all of our channels.
My fault.
Not particularly your fault. I've had stuff. That's why if you saw, we had some of our videos that if you looked in the description, I did put a little blip in there saying these were filmed a while ago. I put some videos that were filmed two years ago. It was like right before we actually got this channel started, so it might have even been longer than that. That he and I had filmed for my channel, and were on my channel for a while, but I went back and was like, why are these on my channel? There's no reason. We have a channel now, and it fits the aesthetic of our channel, this channel, a lot better. That's why also these Tea Time Tasters are now on this channel, not on the other channel. But if you got to see some of those are some of our older videos, but that's why those have been coming out. Hey, good job. I gotta get peanut butter.
That one's gonna scare me if I couldn't get that
one. Spit out again. Yeah, my brain just fried and stopped.
Nice.
But that's what I was talking about. That's why those older videos have been coming out again. And man, I've been watching them. Those were good videos.
Were they?
Those were good videos. I genuinely laughed at them. Like I busted out laughing at some of the jokes and stuff we made. And that might say more about my humor. But man, those were fun. We got to do some of those again. Like the thrift store challenge video.
I was thinking about that recently.
That was a very fun video. That would be an awesome thing to do again. I would have a lot of fun doing that. But we do hopefully, again, coming into the new year, we're going to try to get some more videos up, try to get more interaction, hopefully get a little bit more consistent with all this. There was talk about a TikTok channel getting started, but also now TikTok might not be in America for much longer. So, did you force that apart?
I might have.
That's okay. Just move on to the next one.
Like I know, that's how you're supposed to do it there.
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to mix it up and just.
That's an easy one to
that one's
force apart.
Oh no!
But
I hate these bendies.
Yeah.
What is happening? I'm trying to speak while I'm moving too much brain focus.
We're trying to get some other social media accounts started.
Yeah, we're trying to, in general, just be more present.
Yeah, be a little bit more present, hopefully, because we can make, at some point, make more videos for you guys.
Ideally.
We really like doing this. Like doing this. This is, I think we have some of the most fun.
Until my fingers start trying to freeze off, but still.
It's still fun, though. Come on.
Hypothermia has never been so enjoyable.
Say, you got to watch me plant on my rear end.
Spoilers? Question mark.
I don't know if this video is gonna go out before that.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna try to keep more consistent on this channel. Try to keep more consistent on our own channels.
I have not uploaded in
I know in 3 years. But especially on this channel, I definitely want to do more with this channel.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to because it
it's fun. We have some bigger projects. We do have some bigger projects on the way. We have a fight scene, a short fight scene
How's that
coming
looking,
up.
by the way?
Looking pretty good. He hasn't seen the edit of it yet.
Nope.
It's coming pretty well. Hopefully, it will be coming to you guys soon. Again, not too much bigger. It's only a minute long, but it's a bit bigger of a project for us here on this channel. We hope to do some bigger projects and bigger skits. We like doing the skit stuff. Tell us what you guys like to see. If you've been for this long on this video, which is a long video. If you've been here this long, that means obviously you like us. Don't know why you like us. So
Evidently we're doing something right.
yeah, obviously we're doing something right. Tell us what stuff you like. You
want
like
more skits? You want more long form like this? Because we can sit here and talk and drink tea all day.
I mean, we're very good at talking. We, in all honesty, we cut number one. We cut stuff out of these videos. A lot of stuff out of these videos.
I give up on this one.
Number two, whenever we do or we are doing these talks, we are keeping ourselves contained. Let's say it that way. Trying to. We do go off on tangents sometimes, but that's part of I feel like the fun of it. But we do get usually a lot headier, a lot more, a lot deeper into a lot of these conversations and stuff that we do tend to have.
Very philosophical sometimes too.
Yeah, we can get very philosophical, and that's just how we talk. So if you want to hear more of that stuff, let us know. That's not how you're supposed to solve that. But
what do you mean? It connects like that.
But you're supposed to throw it. Oh boy.
Okay.
But do you want to see more like this form where we're just kind of talking? Do you want to see more of us goofing off?
That was such an easy one.
Yeah, it's a really easy one. Do you like some of, I don't know if you guys happen to know, one of our most well-performing videos is our Blade video of me cutting the camera. A lot of people seem to like that one. That was a spur-of-the-moment thing. That looked kind of sketchy, but that was legitimately just us messing around. I think I cut it out of the video to make it look a little better, but he literally, right before that said, "You're on camera, say something."
just kind of
happened. I happened to have a sword in my hand, and that was the first thing that came to mind, and it was one of the best things we have on our channel, apparently. So do you want to see more of us just like some random stuff? We're gonna have some more of that coming out here recently, sooner. We're gonna have some more of that stuff coming out. So tell us, do you want to see more of that type of stuff? Or do you like our skits? Do you think we're funny when we write stuff out in like 10 minutes? Because there's not a lot of thought in those skits. Not a lot of thoughts in those skits. So imagine if we put more thought into the skits. If you tell us that you like that stuff and we put more thought into the skits.
We will, we promise. At least we're trying.
Yeah. Or do you like our gaming stuff? We haven't done a gaming thing in a while.
Oh,
you're going to see something come out real soon, though. If it's not already out. If it is, I'll put a little link.
Somewhere.
There. I think it's up there. But it's going to be on Duck Game.
Oh my god.
Duck Game. That's going to come up here. Should be out here. Either it's already out or it should be coming out real soon. Do you like us gaming more? Please let us know. Or series we haven't done in a while, the Twilight Princess series. That one's been rough on our end, which is why you haven't seen a lot of it, because number one, that takes a lot of time to sit down and do it. I mean, these ones do too, but it takes a lot of time to sit down and do that one. But it's also, we've had some recording issues with that. Trying to figure out with the older system, filming and trying to get both of us in there working at it. It's been a little bit rougher.
Mic maxing, we got a lot of stuff on that one.
Yeah, lots of mic maxing that we've been trying to work through. And then I talk way louder than he does. So trying to just work on audio mixing through all of that. And so there's been some technical issues on that way. That's why it's not coming out quite as much as we wanted to. And I do know that one can be a little bit more tedious. We tried a new way last time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch our last video. We kind of did a different style in that. We try to shorten it down a little bit more, condense it a little bit more for you guys, and leave just kind of the funny bits and the more story-related things, because Twilight Princess does happen to be a very story-driven game. But that's why it's one of my favorites, because it really engrosses you into the game. And why it's classified as one of the best Zelda games of all time. Period. And I would say it is the best Zelda game of all time. But it's a lot of people do say that I've seen some polls out there that it's like usually gets like second. It's usually like second or third. It's in the top contenders. But I do if we do go into a little bit more of gaming, you guys like the gaming stuff. I do want to get him into Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Those two I think he's going to enjoy a lot more. It's an open world. It's open world. You can actually jump. You can teabag people as you kept wanting to do in Twilight Princess. But those two are really fun. I feel like I would need to have him play Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild is it's a 1 and 2. Tears of the Kingdom is a continuation of Breath of the Wild technically. But in all honesty, Tears of the Kingdom is the superior Breath of the Wild. It's
careful, you're gonna start a war in comments.
I might. But I think everyone can agree with that. It's looking at them, it's like night and day when you start playing both of them.
Oh, like Pokemon Black and Pokemon White.
Kind of, yeah.
Don't play Pokemon.
Yeah, they're both fun. I personally have played both of them. I have sped run the Breath of the Wild, which one of the cool things about because it's completely open world. If you wanted to, you could go straight to the boss. You could go straight to the final boss and start playing it. Trying to beat him. I feel like he would have a lot of fun with that one. But again, it's just a little bit more of a time commitment that we'd have to get through, and some technical issues. I have a complete series on Tears of the Kingdom out on my channel. Which got okay views. That's the hard one. It got okay views. I was averaging around 100 to 300 views per episode on that, and I got like 22 episodes out of it, so not bad. That were like an hour to 2 hours long videos, so pretty good. That one I didn't do quite as much editing on. It was a little bit more raw footage. That's what I wanted to kind of keep it as though for that series. That one was smart. But of course if it's him, I might try to cut it down a little bit more when you're doing it. There you go, you got it.
That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Is there any games that you want to? I have personally said I want to try to do an arc with him.
GTA 5.
GTA 5? No, I'm not doing that. But I wanted to do Ark Survival Evolved with him. We have talked about doing Minecraft, which I know like every YouTuber under the sun has done Minecraft, but I like Minecraft.
But we're not that.
It's a lot of fun. We're not that good.
No, we're not them in the fact that we're different. We're built different.
We're built different. You've seen us play Apex Legends on the channel before.
Very little of it.
Very little of it. We have definitely gotten better. Over the years. But yeah, tell us, do you want us to go more in the gaming route? Do you want us to stick with like the skits? Do you want to see more long form content like this? You want to see just spur of the moment every day us interacting with each other? Because I've always said that personally. I feel like we need a camera on us 24/7 because our funniest moments are never on camera. At all.
Ever.
But yeah, how you doing over there?
It worse.
With that, though, while he's sitting here fiddling and screwing up, I just talked your ear off a lot on that. That's probably going to be broken down, cut down a lot to help it with a little bit on time. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been our yearly Tea Time Tasters of drinking teas. I hope you loved our interesting teas. If you have any interesting teas you'd like to put out, just tell us about and let us try. I put them in the comments down below. I will look through I look through literally every single comment. We don't get enough of them for me not to. So I look at every single comment. Let us know about some teas, okay? Let us see some teas. Let us see some unique teas, and they might show up in the next Tea Time Tasters. Heck, we might even do one before another year passes. Maybe.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes, okay? But, you have any parting words?
I feel stupid.
Those are good parting words. Because it's See ya. How long do you think I should put this in for? Any guesses?
Probably about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. How about 5?
Okay, well, sure. Completely disregard my opinion after asking for it. That's fine.